Hey Eric, we're going to take a look at your week 5 assignment 3. I think that um, all of the decisions that you've made for this are good ones. I think really kind of reducing the background a little bit more keeps things clean. I don't necessarily think it makes much of a difference in terms of keeping interest or confusion of too many elements, but I think what it does do is it lets you focus in on the scene at hand a little bit more, where I think maybe before it was extending out horizontally, kind of far, and this feels like much more like a compact scene. I think it tends to feel a little bit more tense because it's closing in on us a little bit more, which is good. The drawing itself overall feels terrific. I think you have a whiles to go in terms of textural stuff, but the way that things are being rendered and just kind of the general layout of everything looks terrific. The hand is just, I think, really, really good. It's very clear, the gun, the holster, the jeans, and I think the environment and the figures as well are looking, much better. I'd like to see a little bit of texture being introduced into the ground plane. I think these little weeds are great, but having just a little bit of something else occurring within it, a few rocks, a few pebbles, maybe kind of a ground texture if you can get one in, like a kind of a cracked desert texture. Nothing overdone. I mean, you don't really want anything to interfere with this, stuff being kind of the focal point. So you probably want to avoid black, but I think working with kind of some subtle grays and some subtle browns can really help to break up this space, which feels very, very kind of inactive right now. It'd be nice to get a little bit of texture as well into things like the holster, into the jeans, and into the handle of the gun. Even maybe a little bit of a metallic texture on some of the metal that you can see, although it's looking pretty good overall. It just feels to me right now like all the kind of the base stuff is there, and it just needs a little bit more kind of touching up and tweaking, a little bit more shading in a few areas, and it would be right where it needs to be. This is a great revision from the last assignment. I think that you did a really good job of one is rethinking the composition to work more effectively, and then two, just really going in with a lot more detail and a lot clearer of an idea on this one. So in that respect, I think it turned out to be, kind of a perfect assignment 3. I do wish it was turned in on time, because I hate the late deductions, but I think that it ended up about as good as I could really hope. The final project, it has to be turned in on time. There are no late assignments that I accept after the class is closed, unless there's a mitigating circumstance, of which there are very few. So just try as best you can, even if you think you're not going to be able to get it in on the day, turn it in early, because it's better to have something than nothing. But just so there's no late anything. It has to be turned in on the day, or it's not accepted. So other than that, I think you're right where you want to be. I think at this point you've got a very, very strong drawing here, and I think you've got a good idea of where to take it from, from here.